Hey guys, welcome to the second C programming tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be explaining what all this code means, and I'm also going to be explaining how to customize the output or the text that shows up on your screen when you run your program. So first, let's just take a look at these two lines of code up here. Now, I'm actually not going to be explaining what these two lines of code do right now. I'm going to be covering them in a later tutorial, but for right now, just make sure that you don't delete them and you don't edit them. Alright, but let's take a look at this next line right here, this int main parenthesis. So every time that your program runs, it always looks for this thing called main, and it has to look exactly like this. It has to be all lowercase. So if I were to change this to a capital M and try and run it, we see that nothing happens because it's looking for something that's lowercase m A-I-N, and there wasn't one, so it had nothing to do. But if I were to change this back to a lowercase m, then it will run fine. Yep. And if I were to make it just something completely different, it wouldn't run at all. So if I make it Adam and try to run it, same result as if I were to do capital M-A-I-N. So let me just go ahead and change that back to what it's supposed to be. Alright, so after this line of code right here, we see that we have two curly braces. And inside of these curly braces we have this code right here. So whenever it looks for that main, it will just execute that code that is inside of these two curly braces right here. And inside of these two curly braces, what we tell it to do first is just printf. And what printf will do is it will basically just print out onto the screen text. So I had it print out, "Hey Adam." And in order to represent text in C, what you have to do is you have to put two quotes, and then inside of those two quotes you can just type text. So I want to output "Hello Adam," period, and then just go ahead and run this program, and we see that there we go, it just printed out "Hello Adam." Now you're probably wondering what this /n was for. Well, /n means new line. So if I go ahead and run this now, we see that there is a space between "Hello Adam" and this process returned yada yada. So if I were to delete that, we see that there is no space. So what that did, it'll basically just create a new line, and we can put that anywhere inside of our text right here. So let's say that I wanted to have "Hello" and "Adam" on two different lines. I can just go ahead and do /n and then go ahead and build and run, and we see that "Hello" and "Adam" are on two totally different lines. However, it seems to be an eyesore because Adam and process are right next to one another. So if I were to do /n after the Adam, we see that now there's a nice space in between our output and this crap. Alright, and these things right here, this /n, these are called escape characters. And let me just show you one other escape character, /t. And what /t will do is it will replace /t with a tab. So if I run this now, we see that it just replaced that /t with a tab. So if I were to just type out tab on my keyboard, we have the same result. So if I just delete this, type tab, and run it, we see that it's the exact same thing. Alright, and then let's look at this return 0 right here. Now this return 0 is basically just telling the program to stop. Just telling the program to stop executing. So if I were to switch this around right here and put return 0 right here and run it, we see that it doesn't output anything because what we had it do, it's like, alright, int main, found main, now let's do this code inside of these two curly brackets right here. It finds return and it just stops executing. It doesn't ever get to this line of code right here. Alright, and one more thing I actually forgot to explain is the semicolon after every line. And you only need the semicolon if you're typing a statement, which you type a lot of. That's why you don't need the semicolon up here, or here, or here, or here. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to be getting into variables. Alright, so see you guys.